This is the true story of a New York City boy with big town hopes and small neighborhood dreams of becoming BFFs with the Real Housewives and other Bravo celebrities. Then, one day, that dream actually came true. Let me take you behind the velvet rope. Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. How are we? And let's get right into it today because we are here joined Real Housewives of Atlanta, the one and only Miss Marlo Hampton.
Hi, David.
You look so nice.
Oh, thank you. I'm sitting in the house. I'm like, let me try and look a little fabulous with my crystal earrings on for you.
What is this behind you? Is that a painting or wallpaper? I love it.
Wallpaper in my living room. It's a floral wallpaper.
Oh my God, it's so nice.
Thank you.
How are you doing for this quarantine?
You know what? I think I'm doing good. I'm cooking every day, getting fat with my nephews. We're doing schoolwork from 9 a.m. until about 4. And then we're cooking and we're watching movies, going outside, just trying to stay busy.
That's because everyone that I know they say the homeschooling is like the worst part of it.
You know what? What I've realized, I need to go back to school and get some homeschooling in elementary and middle school.
Seriously. And now,
one of my nephews are in 4th grade and the other one's in 7th. The 4th grade, I'm like, okay, Michael, come help with this one. And when Michael comes with his 7th grade work, I'm like, let me call someone if I don't understand this. It's crazy.
So the worst is the math. Like, isn't the math all different now or something?
It's a different language, but thank God Michael is good in math. So, oh my God, it's just complicated, the math.
Do you have a full house?
A full house, 2 boys and Monty.
And that is right. And we saw that storyline a little bit this season on the show.
You did.
So that was nice to see. Now, before we get into it, and we got a lot to get into.
Oh, Lordy.
All good, Marlo. You're like amongst friends here, Marlo. Tell us about yourself. Like, tell me, where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up? Just for everyone who doesn't know your story.
So, where I grew up in Florida. I was born in Clearwater, Florida, raised in St. Petersburg, Florida. I graduated from the University of South Florida in Tampa. I grew up in 5 different foster homes. If anyone doesn't know that, I aged out of foster care. In St. Pete, I came to Atlanta, about 11 years ago, and this is where I've been home. But the main thing about me is just from a girl from Florida. My mother had 5 kids. She had substance abuse, physical abuse, and just dealing with issues of her own. Therefore, that's why I was in the system. And I can't complain. Some people hear my story and they're like, oh my God, it's so sad. But I thank God for it. And I just feel that my story was meant to be. I'm a firm believer in what's meant to be is, God has the story already written out. So I look at people who have their mom and dad and they're just so evil and they can have awful ways. So I'm really thankful for my humble beginning.
And sometimes humble beginnings, make you a stronger adult, I feel.
Absolutely. Some people it doesn't, but a lot of people it does.
Right. You could either be bitter and say the world is against me, or you can rise above and say, this is just, yeah. So you ended up in Atlanta. So not, how'd you end up in Atlanta? I mean, I guess it's not that far from Florida.
So I was in Florida. I went down some bumpy roads. I'm sure you've heard of running with the wrong crowd, things. It was just awful. So one day I looked in the mirror because it starts with the person in the mirror. I'm like, hey, you got to stop making excuses because your mom and your dad, or you got to just own the fact that you have to make a change. So my girlfriend was living here in Atlanta, getting her master's degree at Clark. She's like, girl, just come here, get a fresh start. I was dating the wrong guy. I was hanging with the wrong crowd. So I'm like, you know what? I don't have any children. I'm going to pack up and I'm coming. And that's my story. It's been the best move of my life. I came here, transferred from a men's department store I was working at in Tampa. And it was over in the hood here in Atlanta on Candler Road. And I'm like, oh, this is too much like home. I need to go somewhere nicer. So I found out about Buckhead and went to Lenox, and it was all she wrote after Lenox. So I got a job at R&B and BB. I met young jock Jazzy Faye. I became a stylist. Like I just printed out some cards and was like, hey, I'm a stylist, because everyone complimented my outfits. And back then it wasn't designers. It was just the way I accessorized and dressed. So I saved up my money, I bartended, and I started my own boutique here in Atlanta, me and one of my girlfriends, called The Red Carpet. And that's how I first met the girls on Housewives. They filmed at my boutique season, whatever season Candy came on, they filmed at my boutique.
Okay. I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, that's, you know, like, look, people are always out for the salacious dirt, you know, like they say, like, right, like when you first came on, they dredged up, you know, all your past, and Marlo was this and that, and
that.
They like to say about the arrest. They don't say about that you have pulled yourself up by the bootstraps and look where you are now, right?
Oh, tell me about it. They're not going to mention the good stuff. They're only going to talk about the arrest and the bad stuff. And they're going to make up lies. Oh, she only dated older white men. She dated Terry Turner. It's like, tell this. If you're going to mention Marlo, I feel that it's so much more to me than the clothes. But when you see me, I'm fabulous. I'm extra. That makes me feel good, David. I don't feel that I should apologize for that. And that's replacing a lot. No dad, no mom, not really probably feeling like I've been loved and having trust issues. It's just, it is what it is. But one thing about Marlo, I own my truth, and all I can do is give you the truth. It is what it is. I sit and I look at people like, wow, you're really making this story up? You're not really going to get to know me. My 5-inch heels and my spoken opinionated mouth is really going to make you just make up your own story, right?
Right.
Fortunately, that's what you get.
And listen, there's nothing wrong with a great style. I was at Watch, because I live in New York, so I was at Watch What Happened the night you were there.
Oh, okay.
And we did a picture together outside, and I don't know what you were wearing, if it was Gucci or whatever. It was like a black silver. It was, I'll like send you the picture. It was gorgeous.
Okay, I think it was was it the black and gray dress? No, wasn't that what it was?
It was like black, and maybe it was black and gray or silver, but it was like, I thought it was either like Gucci or Chanel, but it was maybe not, but it was gorgeous, whatever it was. So
thank you.
I will send you the picture. So, all right, so you had your store, and like that's how you first met all these girls that were on the show.
And at the time, do you remember a lady named Princess? She had some housewives, and she came in the store and she was talking to me, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to be on that show, because you know they want girls who are fabulous, and they really want you to know other girls and you recommend other girls to the show. But I was like, no way. At the time, I am dating a guy who's, you know, my billionaire boyfriend of 5 years, and I'm like, hell no way in hell would I be on that show arguing and fussing. And a couple years later, I'm like, yeah, I'll be on the show. So I was dating Charles Grant at the time, and I came on the show then.
Right, and I guess, I mean, that was the thing, like, you were dating a billionaire at the time, you're probably like, what do I need this for?
Exactly, I wasn't interested at all. But then a couple of years later, I was not dating one, and I was interested. And I was dating Charles Grant then, and that's when I came on with Charles Grant.
That all makes sense. I mean, so when you first came on the show, who was who kind of brought you into the mix? Like, who were you friends with at that time?
At the time, I knew Phaedra. So Phaedra is the one who brought me on. But I know it was to start drama between Nene, because it had been rumored that her and Charles had chit-chatted or whatever. But I'm like, hey, he said it wasn't true. She said it wasn't true. And, you know, that didn't work out, that plan.
And what do you feel about Phaedra? I mean, Phaedra is certainly someone who's still talked about to this day.
I mean, Phaedra is epic. She's one of a kind. Can't no one read like her if they ever tried. I just hate that happened with her and Candy, but Phaedra is great TV. We have to give her that.
And what do you feel about, you know, all of this latest, like where Candy says, I won't stay on the show if Phaedra comes back, and Nene, like, have you seen Nene's been saying, like, bring Phaedra back? Yes, bring her back. Yeah. Goodbye, Candy.
I feel that the only person can make that decision is Bravo. Who comes, who goes. We can all have our opinion, but at the end of the day, it's what they want. But I feel that Kenya is back. Some people didn't want her back. At the end of the day, get out of your feelings. If it's good TV, it's good TV. But I understand with Candy and Phaedra, that was a little deeper. That was a wound that was like, golly, you just went a little too far. But I think they've gotten over it. I think they're at least cordial.
What about Nene saying, like, sure, bring Phaedra back?
Nene means that. Bring her back. She's just worried about, same way Candy is worried about the longevity of our show, and Nene is as well. They want to bring you good TV. And I know from both of those girls, they're thinking of good TV and what's going to keep you entertained. And Phaedra would never give you a snooze moment, right?
Listen, she would be amazing for the show. I mean, that's the thing. Like, people don't realize, like, it's hard to carry a show one person. You know, it's like you're only as strong as your co-stars.
And you know what? That's what I'm saying, David. We need to realize David brings what he brings, Marlo brings what she brings, but we bring it together. Without me, you're still missing something. And people don't realize that. Like, sometimes the girls, I feel like, oh, she doesn't have a piece. She's not. It doesn't matter, sweetie. You need me. That's why I'm here on every trip. That's why I've been here all these years, because we make a team, and I need you as well. But sometimes the girls just get beside themselves and they don't see the worth in everyone. So that's the sad part about it.
Do you feel like some of the girls have that ego and look down upon you like, yeah, I have a peach and you don't?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm just worried about check and good credit and owning my own properties and, going to the bank and being okay.
Who's the worst offender of that? Like, I have a peach and you don't, Marlo.
It's not the worst. I would say lately it would have been Eva, because she's the newest peach holder. So she brings it up in my face like, oh, you've been here this long. Like, darling, I got a peach and you would never have it, or, But that's with us arguing and being girls. But I would definitely say Eva. It used to be Kenya. Kenya just feels that she's seniority, or like she's on a different pedestal, like you're beneath me. And it's like, girl, you've been gone from this show and I've still been here. I'm not going anywhere, sweetheart. You need me.
Seriously.
Take it. When I had the lunch, did you see the lunch at my wig event? Her?
Oh, that's on my list of things to discuss.
But Kenya couldn't even take that. Like, deep inside, I feel that she was bothered. Like, why is she having an event? She's not a housewife. And it's like, hey, be happy for me. Let me promote what I have going on. Know that I'm taking care of 2 young men, 2 young boys. And just be happy. But she just some way just can't find happiness for everyone. She's really bitter.
And I never understood, well, like, at least this season, I don't understand what Eva has against you. That's what I never understood, like, this season. You know what?
Nene, Eva and I had our little situation. You remember on the bus, she read me the everyone says about my wig. I'm not a good reader. I just state facts. These girls like to read. David, look, blase. I'm going to read, and I'm not going to read. I'm going to state facts, and I may not deliver the message that good, but I'm going to deliver the message, okay? So one thing I can always give you is honesty, and I'm very honest. So I get mad when the girls come around, they're lying, and you're trying to pick up fights, or it's like, hey, I'm not going to give her any because I don't want her to get ahead of me. Girl, just be you and give everything that's due, okay?
I agree. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Like, just keep it real.
Hello, they don't do that anymore. A lot of people are just so fake. And the issue with Eva and I, when she first came on, I thought we were good because, we had made up.
Yeah.
I invited her to my event. I gifted her a Fendi Peekaboo bag, if you see after the season. So if I'm gifting you bags and inviting you to events that we're having, I like you. We're okay. So when she got on Wendy Williams, I was like, wow, you had to bring that back up again? And I don't regret saying it. It was so much more I could have said, David. I had receipts, like text messages, bills from Eva. But I'm like, you know what, Marlo? Don't go too below the belt. This girl is having financial hardships, which I'm not the richest person on the world. You don't see me saying that. I just tell you, I don't date broke and I have good credit and I own my home. So I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm just good. No, I'm never going to claim that. I'm not. But I'm good. I'm thankful and I'm blessed.
And you're very honest about not dating broke, which I love.
I'm not. And I would never take that back. People kill me with that. I don't want to date a broke man. I want to be able to go to dinner and you can treat me to dinner sometime, David. You can, if I want to fly first class, you can do it. If I want a Chanel bag, it may not be every day, but I want to know broke doesn't mean every day I get everything. It's just, I know you have a great credit score. I know we have some money for savings and we can go take vacations. I know if my nephews need something, you're going to be there. And I'm sorry, I'm too old to be talking about building something with someone. Child, I'm 44 years old.
That was one of the best scenes of the whole season. I mean, you just basically said the same thing. You're like, I just am not interested.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm sorry. I want a life partner, someone I can grow older with and love. But I'm not damn 20-something years old like my little sister or my niece or, oh, you should build something. You should get true love. Everyone says, I want that. I would love that. But if that's not what God has for me, I'm going to take what he has for me. And if it's just Marlo loving Marlo and Marlo loving her nephews and her family and providing, that's what it's going to be. I'm not trying to have a story. Your story is not my story.
Tell me about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think a lot of people think everything you just said, they just don't verbalize it. But I think everyone would like to say, I don't want to date broke.
Yeah. And they're going by what society says. Like, I'll read comments. Don't you want to be married? Or you old hag, you're not married. You don't have kids. I want to be happy, David. David, I want to be happy. I don't want you to see this picture and I'm getting abused. I'm getting disrespected. I mean, look at Kenya's situation, unfortunately. I will be single before I have a mark talking to me like that or treat me like that on national television. I will be single. That girl chews my head off. And you would sit and let a man talk to you that way? That speaks a lot about you. I feel sorry for you. Like, it's not even a joke. It's like when I like cringe when I see him and her on the show. And I'm like, oh my God, Kenya, like, what's happened where you really feel you need this? And you're raising a daughter. So I just hope she wakes up before it's too late, because I would not want Brooklyn to see what type of situation she's in right now and allow any man to treat her that way.
I mean, are you shocked that they're, getting this divorce now or they're having these issues?
Well, we need to find out if they really are married, first of all. No one can find a wedding certificate, but I'm shocked that Kenya, more than I know, the strong woman who she speaks well of women, very well spoken, very educated, would sit and let a man belittle her like this on national TV and just in life. I feel sorry for any woman that does that. And I mean, guess what? My mother was in an abusive relationship, but me seeing her in that has taught me I would never be in anything like that. And if I'm in it, I'm only going to be in it for 2 seconds. I'm hopping the hell out of it.
Totally. Oh, and we're not even sure. I didn't even know that. We're not even sure if she's really married. I didn't know that.
No one has ever seen a wedding certificate, a marriage certificate, so no one can find one. I mean, she's never showed the receipts. She shows the receipts on anyone. She's going to, I'm sure, come to this reunion showing receipts. But show your receipts. Show yours. I would have mine framed in a rhinestone, blinged out Swarovski crystal frame. Like, look, bitches, here's my certificate. Now what?
Seriously. Interesting. That's interesting. Okay. That is all very interesting. No, but it's true. Like, especially in, 2020, with all that's happened in the world and the Me Too movement, you have a point.
And with the Me Too movement, absolutely. And it's so funny, David. I look at women, I'm like, oh, they look so nice on Instagram. Oh, they look happy. And when I go around other celebrities or people that look so happy, they're miserable. The man is talking to them any kind of way. Not to name celebrities, but so many celebrities yourself who have cheated on their girls, get someone else pregnant, then they marry them. I don't want that. Marry me before that happens. You feel me? Because then we can figure it out and be together through, better or worse. Not go get someone pregnant, not talk to me any kind of way because you have money. And that's one thing, God bless it, that my grandmother just passed recently. I lost her and my godmother, Mildred. They were strong Aquarius Black women. And my grandfather, he respected my grandmother. He didn't hit her. He just respect that lady. And it wasn't, now was he a man? Did he cheat? Did he do manly things? Of course. But it didn't come back home. And nowadays I just feel you have to have that, you have to demand that level of respect. You have to.
That's true. And so to that effect, what are your feelings on like Portia's situation?
Portia's situation, I feel that her and Dennis just jumped into something really fast and they really didn't get to know each other. But I do feel that they're at a great place now. I just feel Portia wanted the baby. You know how you meet someone, you're in love, it feels good. This guy doesn't have any kids, he's making me happy. And I just feel now they're doing the right thing. They're going to therapy. They're getting to know each other. And it seems like it's working out great. I love Dennis. I just love him because he reminds me of a guy from back home, down to earth Southern guy. And I just pray that it works out. It'd be really a disappointment if he lets us down.
I think so.
And we have to salute Portia. She got the hell on. Did she not leave? She left in 2 seconds from a phone call. I'm like, girl, you could have stayed for a phone call. I would have helped to stay with a phone call.
Seriously.
But she stayed for that. But at least he's not on TV cursing her out, disrespecting her. It's like we're loving him because he's there. He's providing. So just let's keep our fingers crossed that he continues that path.
I hope so. I'm like rooting for Portia.
I am too. I love Portia. She really wanted this. So
she did. She did. And you and Nene talk to us about your friendship with Miss Nene Leaks.
You know what? Nene and I are in an amazing place. Now, I will say this season, she probably felt some kind of way. I was like, oh my God, Marlo isn't, being on my side or defending me like she should. But it felt good. I could honestly say, David, it felt amazing getting to know each and every one of the girls myself, spending time with them, getting invited to events without having to be with Nene. But I'm still loyal to Nene. Nene has been a person there for me from day one. We had a huge falling out, but we sat here like you and I. We were honest with each other. We told everything that happened. We kissed, we cried, we made up, and that's done. But it's good just hanging out with Candy, getting to know Portia, getting to know Tanya, and just creating my own friendship, and definitely never getting to know Kenya.
Really, I think Kenya's the one you have the most issues with.
Seriously. I mean, Eva shocked me when she said that on Wendy, but Kenya, I just pray for her. It's no hard feelings, but bitter tastes is in my mouth or what she did at my hair event. To march in there with a band to somewhere promoting, I had vendors, I had sponsors, I even had my nephews there in the back. Like, I would never do that. That was distasteful. Ugh, it tastes disgusting.
And what do you think her motivation was for all of it?
You know what I was thinking about that. Now the old Marlo, I would have lost it. I would have pushed that damn band out the door. I would have get the hell out of here. And I'm like, you know what? Your nephews are looking up to you. You've been there. You're better than that. But I just feel Kia hasn't had an acting job in years. So she wants to act. And she just needed the attention. So I'm like, okay, let her have my hair event to act, Think about it. She hasn't had a gig in forever. She just recently got an acting gig since she's been back on our show. Because when she wasn't on the show, she was not doing anything. So she really needs to be thankful to Bravo, to me, and to all the other girls.
What acting gig did she just get? I don't even know.
I don't know what it was, but it was, being not a main character, a main character, but something she's doing with acting. I want to say someone mentioned.
Huh. And do you think she is acting on this Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel not all the time, but I do feel like when she cried and the things with Mark, if you recall, I even got up and I went over to console her, because I'm like, damn, no matter how much I don't like this girl, I don't want you to hurt like this. Like, I want you to know your worth, sister. I want you to know your worth. But sometimes it's just too much. Like when I try to sit there and talk to her and say, hey, Kenya, this is the issue I'm having. And you walk away and you storm off. I'm like, okay, you're acting now. You're doing too much. I've been apologized for what I said about your mother. It was distasteful. It was poor. It was awful. When I have the same situation, I was mad and I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to get back at her, just trying to hurt her, which I did. And I apologize for that. But for you to still try to hold that over my head 3 years later, come on, get over it. You've done worse before, and you've done worse this season to others, okay?
True. And do you think the
cookie lady and for Tanya, that's awful. Who does that? It's crazy.
Yes. That it was a little, yes, I have recently sat down with a cookie lady, believe it or not.
You did?
Listen, Marlo, I get around.
I see you get around. That's a song. You know that, right?
Is it? I wonder who sings. I like that. What are you drinking over there, by the way? Is that lemonade or
Grey Goose and lemonade?
a girl after my own heart?
With no ice, because I'm scared to drink anything cold.
And I love your glass. Everyone, Marlo is drinking out of it's bedazzled. It's like diamond.
And what's crazy, David, people don't realize this is just me. Like, I would go upstairs. I've been practicing my makeup. Some days I'm like, you know what? I'm going to dress up. Or my nephews know no matter what I drink, I want a fabulous glass. It's not for the TV. It's not because of you. It makes me feel good. I have a lot of issues like anyone else that I'm dealing with every day. You know, with my life changing with my nephews, not being close to my mom, and Mother's Day is coming up. So it's just, let Marlo be Marlo. Love me for who I am, and love me because I'm authentic. And this is just what you see is what you get.
Totally. But yes, back to Kenya. But no, that's all. I love that glass. Right. So she brought the cookie lady. So, right. I mean, I was going to say that before. Like, there's no bigger receipt than bringing a human being to a lunch.
That's so awful. And I was shocked that the cookie lady would even come. Like, that was shocking. I'm like, good Lord, some things you just don't do. And Tanya's so bubbly and happy. And, you know, Tanya, no matter what, I feel a part of me feel that Kenya is jealous of Tanya.
You think so?
Yeah, because guess what? Tanya's not married. She has the big ring. She has the man, the car, the house, the man that respects her, who loves to dress her up and loves her in all the fabulous pieces and travels everywhere with her. Kenya's actually supposedly married, and she doesn't have that. And that's what Kenya wants. See, I don't go to sleep at night and say, Lord, please bring me a husband and a baby. I say, Lord, let your will be done and let me be happy. And that's the problem. A lot of people are praying for what they want instead of asking God to let his will be done.
I get it. I'm a single girl, and if this is the plan that someone has for me, I mean, I'm not that religious, but like, I do believe in like everything in life happens for a reason.
And everyone is not meant to be married. Everyone is not meant to be in a relationship. Everyone is not meant to be straight. Everyone is not meant to be sober. It's just everyone has a different story, and people just want you to be this story. It's like, hey, this is my reality. This is my real life. I'm in a relationship with Marlo, William, and Michael, full time, a real relationship, not a paid one, not a fake boyfriend. Am I dating? Yes. Would I love to be happy and be married? Absolutely. So if you know anybody single, introduce them to me. Don't tell them I'm on the show, though.
I will do that, but can you please try to find me a nice, cute boy? I mean, Atlanta's not that far from New York.
You want a black guy? I got some cute black guys here, too.
Listen, there ain't nothing wrong with a black guy, honey.
I know nothing.
Like,
we have so many cute guys here. Black, white, everything.
And like the boys are nicer in Atlanta than New York a little bit.
You definitely not as stuck up, more, Southern. They're gonna feed you, they're gonna take you out, get you gifts.
Listen, gifts are okay, but I agree. Like, I think it's a very narrow view of the world to be like, why is it like that everyone's goal should be to get married? Like, I'm like you, I would love it, but if that's not the plan, has anyone asked me if I'm happy how things are? I'm happy. Like, don't worry about me.
Please. It's crazy. Hey, God, what's your zodiac sign, David?
Gemini.
Oh, I'm an Aquarius, Aquemini. We get it. Yay.
That's why.
Number one compatible sign.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Also, yeah, Gemini and Aquarius are most compatible.
I love being a Gemini.
Yes, I know. We don't know what the hell we're going to get with you one day, one way, but we're going to get the truth. You're crazy as hell.
Yes. Like, I tell it like it is. Like, I'm the same way. It's like, love me or hate me, I could care less. But, like, I honestly will tell you what I feel.
Exactly.
And yes.
I appreciate that.
And I do change from hour to hour. Just stay with me. But at least, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, it's not.
And, I mean, how do you feel with Kenya, like, when you went to that event and she tried to seat you in the back, and then Mark took your side? Mark
did. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Now, that's another time when I'm like, Kenya, really? I'm with my nephews. Mike had already told me he was hosting the event. So I'm like, you know what? This would be so great to bring my nephews to and see other men, the color of them being in successful positions and to hear their story. So I wanted them just to get that full experience, not all the way in the back. Let them be up close in front and talk to these guys and touch them. And, but I was really shocked to see Mark take my side because I really don't know him like that. So what I will say is that the energy I got from Mark was amazing, but it's so weird with him and Kenya. So I'm like, is it all Mark or is it Kenya? It's like, we're not there, but it has to be 50-50. I mean, she has to play some part in that because he was so nice to me. And I mean, you would never think this is the same guy that we see with her.
Right.
Like, just made that man, I don't know what's happened. Just got to pray for them.
And like, did you have any thoughts, like, as nice as it was for him to take your side, it almost proves the point you're trying to make. Like if you had a man, you would want them to take your side no matter what, whether they agreed or not.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I think that where they're at with their relationship, it's like, girl, I'm over you. I'm done with you. For a man right now, you and I are dating, and I'm dead ass wrong, dead wrong. I still need you to be on my side, but when we get in the car, like, hey, Marlo, you know that shit was not right. You should not have done that. But for this man to straight up never take your side, baby, I'm sorry. He just is not that into you. Just walk away, Kenya. Walk away. I would just tell my friends, girl, just go. Y'all, whatever that happened in that relationship, he's just not that into you. I'm sorry, he's not.
That makes sense. And what about Cynthia? How are you and Cynthia these days?
Cynthia and I are cool. The thing with Cynthia is that when her and Nene had their falling out, she felt, I'm team Nene. So it really disappointed me when she brought me to lunch and thought that I was the snake gate. Remember that episode?
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that for a minute too.
I was so bothered about that. That really hurt me because I'm like, Cynthia, you've known me too long. You know I would never record you. Now, if it's my man, yeah. If I'm trying, not no friend, girl. That's just too below the belt. And for you to even think I would do that. So, but we're good. We're at a good place. I know for sure she doesn't trust me 100%. Now, I've been around Portia when her and Nene weren't friends. I've been around Candy. And I've never went back and told anything, or it's just been a great season for me. I'm letting them be crazy with each other, and I'm going to enjoy them. And when I can, I'm going to just try and speak positive and, put some light on them to come together. But I'm gonna need college for that to become a therapist.
Seriously. I don't know if it's because Kenya's back, but this is to me the best season in years.
It's crazy because I guess just messiness and just doing the unbelievable just makes good TV. It really does. It's sad, but it does. But I just feel sometimes you have to have a little line where I'm not going to call anyone a C word. Like her calling Tanya that was awful. You already brought the cookie lady. You just having a cookie lady moment, a C-U-N-T moment. Like, really? You just having a C word moment today. And it's just awful.
And what does Tanya think about all that? Just whatever?
Hurt. She was hurt and appalled. And I mean, Paul was even upset. He was really pissed about it too, disappointed.
Interesting. And I mean, Cynthia and Nene, what do you, I mean, I know your crystal ball is broken today, but what do you predict for the future? I mean,
I feel, David, that they're going to become friends again. I really do. I do. And I could be wrong. I feel the only reason they're not friends is because of Kenya. I think they really would have been closer if it wasn't for Kenya being in the picture now. But I think they're going to make up. Those girls were really like sisters. And to me, it's going to make me sit back if they go years and be like, but damn, were y'all really sisters? I mean, if it takes for one person to just have to kiss butt if that really was your sister. And I mean, at this day and age, with what's going on in the world, both of them just had left our funeral for Kim Porter. It's too much going on in this world to lose someone that you truly have spent holidays with, stayed on the phone with, flew out of the town with. It's just special moments and memories to where it's not that serious.
I agree. I mean, listen, I am rooting for that friendship. Sometimes I don't get that invested. I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. But like, I don't know. There's something about Cynthia and Nene that I love that friendship.
love to it. Like it balances. And even though like Cynthia said, oh, Marlo's Nene's sidekick, I thought that was awful. Because you know what? It really kind of is disappointing when I see Cynthia say messy things like that. I think because I look at her, I really look up to her. I mean, her and Nene are like the age of they're my older sisters. My oldest sister is 50. So it's like, God, Cynthia, I think like I want to look up to you for advice and not for you to bicker with me and, think negative things. But to say sidekick, girl, Marlo can never be a sidekick. I can never be a side woman nor a sidekick. Okay? Nothing about me is side. Everything about me is, hey, extra, and I'm taking over. So I think that she just, I don't know, I guess because she was with Kenya again. Once again, Kenya just brings out awfulness in some people.
But that is, I think, the general consensus that, like, right, like, you'll take Nene's side over everyone, no matter what. No opinion. It's all about Nene.
I will say that has happened in the past. And where I'm from, I'm going to ride for David. David's my buddy. Nene has looked out for me like none of these other girls have. She's made sure she's put money in my pocket. She's been a true friend. She's given birthday gifts. I can't recall getting a birthday gift or a gift from any of these girls. I'm the girl that always buy gifts, no matter what. If I miss your birthday, when you see me, I'm pulling up with the gift. These girls don't do that to me. So I know at the end of the day what it is. And I mean, it hurts sometimes, but I mean, this has been the best season ever with me getting to know them. But my loyalty is still with Nene as a friend, not loyalty as in I'm going to be friends with Kenya, Nene, not Kenya. Oh, Lord Jesus, Lord. I'm going to be friends with Candy if I want to, Nene. I'm going to be friends with anyone I want. And I'm still going to be loyal to you as well. Because, David, you shouldn't be bringing me around just to get dirt on Nene. And I'm too loyal to be, I'm too smart to know if you're talking about Nene. I'm like, oh, stop it. You guys get over it. It's like, I'm an 8-year pro now. Bad at this.
Right.
It's like,
and what about Candy? How's your relationship with Candy?
Oh, my relationship with Candy is good. Sometimes I'll get on and be like, hey, you need to get Kenya together. Stop taking Kenya's side. But last week, I do love that she got Kenya together and defended Nene. And even myself, she was like, hey, you don't walk away when Marlo's trying to talk to you. I've always admired with Candy, with her being a boss. I feel a true boss always speaks up when it's right and wrong. So I love when she's fair, when she really speaks her mind, no matter if it's her sister, cousin. Speak your mind, tell the truth, and, I'm okay with it.
And what about Snakegate? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. We got to see how that's crazy. I just know I wasn't the snake. I just know a lot of these girls picked the wrong friends. A lot of them, I've sat back and I say, look how they treat me. Look how they don't want me to get afford. But everyone they invest in is gone. Everyone they believe in is gone. I'm right here still.
Right.
The story is still the same. Story hasn't. The only thing's changed is my nephews are with me now.
And we're going to see the resolution of Snakegate by the end of the season?
No, but I think you will. I'm not positive, but hopefully you will.
I hope so.
You need to. You deserve to see it. So I'm sure Bravo's going to make sure you see it.
Because that was messy.
It was super duper messy. Oh my God. I was like you have no idea if you could just see all the footage. I'm like, what the freak is going on here?
Do you think Kenya's the one out of the whole cast that kind of brings and makes up these storylines and the dramatics the most?
You know what? No, I wouldn't say that. I would just say that Kenya, she really wants to get into acting. And I mean, I wish her well, because she's like, I wouldn't say she's an A or B. She's about, what, a C minus, you'll say, with acting. You know when Kenya's acting. Can't you just see, like, girl, calm down. It's not that serious. So I just wish her one day she can be successful and get her foot back into Hollywood and get her butt done, because that butt is wrong. But yeah.
Really? How so? Too big, too small, too
big, too proportion. Did you see her in the bikini on the end?
I need to focus on it more.
You have to look when we were in where were we at? Greece. And we're on the beach. The butt just isn't right. I'm not mad with the fake butt, but just get it done. She makes enough money to get an amazing butt. So like, if I was her, I would be laying on the table now getting an amazing. She can get an amazing body. Like she went, but I think back then she wasn't really making that much money, so she probably had to go with whoever she could in their house or basement.
And now she makes more money. And so,
I mean, come on, you can definitely afford a good butt job, can you? Or either I help her out. I just put a little interest on it.
but seriously, like as a gay man, sometimes I'm looking at the clothes. Oh, the outfits in Greece. Oh, there was like Gucci, 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 and more Gucci. I was like, I'm loving every outfit.
Everyone, now, a couple of the Greece, the night of when we were supposed to dress as goddess, a couple people looked like costume goddess. I didn't like that because like I went to the market and I bought like an authentic Grecian outfit. I love candies. I love Nene's. I love Portia and Tanya, but some just looked at too costumey to me. Like, okay, this is not a Grecian Halloween party now.
And Greece is so nice.
It was amazing, but I couldn't take all those cats, David. It was too many cats at one time. 1 or 2 cats, I'm cool. My friends have cats, but 1 million cats at one time.
When I went to Greece, it was the same thing. People don't realize there's cats everywhere.
No, I don't understand. Why is there so many stray cats there?
And I'm not a cat person, so it was not my thing.
Not at all. I'm like, you can bring the dogs over the cats. I couldn't do it.
Do you think that do you think the girls as a whole don't want you to get a peach? I mean, you are, and why do you not? I mean, I love you regardless. To your point, you're there. You're not going anywhere. But why doesn't Marlo have a peach?
Well, you heard it from our boss. You heard it from Andy Cohen. He said the consensus, we're now all into agreement. I want to find out who it's not. But someone definitely don't want me to have one. And I'm okay because like I've told everyone, I love Bravo. Whoever is working for Bravo that doesn't love me, I love you. I have been loyal to my home. To me, Bravo is family. They take good care of me. I've seen a lot of the world. I eat good. I'm able to sit here and talk to you and not worry about where my next meal is coming from. I don't live out of my means. As you see, I'm still in my townhome that's paid for. I'm gonna have to move though because I have my 2 nephews. I don't know who the consensus is. They're just not into agreement, but I know who is in agreement. That's God. I'm not trying to get so holy, but I know he is in agreement. So where I'm supposed to be is where I'm at, and where I'm supposed to get to, I'm going to get there. So I do feel my fans deserve to see me with a peach because they want to see me with a peach. But as in me, it's just a title. What am I missing out on? I missed 2 episodes this season. So
yeah,
the peach holders needed me, right?
I feel like we've seen more of you this season than we've seen. Which is nice.
To do my part. When I come on here, I'm going to call the girls out. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to cry. I'm going to be real. And I just feel I'm here to just have a sisterhood. I love when we do have sisterhoods.
And what do you think it is? Because, like the ratings for Atlanta are by far the highest out of any franchise. Like, what do you think it is?
I think it is we're relatable. Even if you don't want to say that we are, even in your billionaire house, in your filthy rich house, or your bougie house, every single one of us, someone in their household can relate to us. You get so many people who don't even admit to watching this show. Like I'll be on the plane or something, or talking. They're like, "Oh, I don't watch that." I'm like, "Okay, well, we're the #1 rated out of all the housewife shows, but sorry, you're not one of the 3 million or 2 million people that watch us."
Seriously. I mean, it's just, you look at, some of the other franchises are like less than half. So it's.
And I love LA. I love LA. The lifestyle, the house, and you would think they would be #1, and they're not. It's like they love these good old Southern girls here in Atlanta.
Do you have a favorite from Beverly Hills?
Dorit would be my favorite. Her and Erica Jane.
Thank you. Nobody says this about Dorit is the best.
Let me tell you, I love her. She's real. If she sees this, I would DM her and call her and be like, "Hey, who did this? Who did this?" She tells me she's not jealous-hearted. She's not shady. I had hired her stylist to style me for the reunion. I really hired like 3 stylists. But I love Dorit. She's fabulous. I love her family, the kids, the husband. I love her. She's everything.
Now, my listeners they're going to tell me to shut the hell up because I say this every time, but I went to high school with Dorit.
No way.
Connecticut.
Wow. What did you know her?
I had a very good friend and she had a very good friend, and they were sisters. So we were like different years. So like one of my best friends and one of her best friends were sisters. So we're connected through sisters.
But wow, yeah, she's amazing. I love her. Her style is everything. Her style is amazing.
Her style is fucking insane. It's insane.
I literally reached out to her. I'm like, hey, who did you use to style you? Give me their number. So I called them like, hey, even if I don't use her stylist for the reunion, I'm definitely going to work with her this season. And I style myself usually. I style myself, and sometimes I creative director. But I'm definitely going to use the stylist some this season.
Yeah, because her stuff, you're like, okay, that outfit is like $40,000. It's like Balmain, and there's Gucci, and there's Chanel. And I mean, I'm not saying you need to spend a lot of money to look great, but just like, it's like her style is so, and she's gorgeous.
And then she's so tiny. If I could just lose the weight, that's my problem. I'm sitting here eating everything.
First of all, talk about eating. I am eating my way through this whole quarantine.
I am too. It's sad, but I am doing the same. And I'm gonna, I need to go outside and get on those little kangaroo skates I have and just jump for 30 minutes.
I've like, some people are really, I know, at home getting, like, I've done the opposite. I'm like doubling down on pizza, chicken parm, pasta. I'm just like, what's the point of being in shape now? We have like another month of this, people. I'm
laying on the couch. My sleep pattern is off. I'm watching Netflix. I'm waking up eating a bowl of Frosted Flakes. I'm waking up eating chips with hot sauce on them. I'm like, this is too much. Just too much.
Last night, I've been good with sleeping, but for whatever reason, I couldn't sleep last night. And I woke up.
Call me. I was up to like 5 a.m. Seriously.
I would have called you. I was literally up to like 2 a.m. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then you try to force yourself to sleep, and it just doesn't work. And you know what? Even though we're saying we're okay, we're worried a little bit too. We can't believe that this is happening. Because I'm like, why am I up? I'm not depressed. I'm like, now with my nephews here, like they're here. I don't know if they can hear me, but I would go upstairs when they're sleeping and look at them and just pray over them. Because I'm like, Lord, what is going on? Like, I hope they're okay. I'm scared to go out the house. Like, I'll run to the post office or just somewhere right on the street where I live. Because I'm like, oh my God, like, I just want to be here for them, and I don't want to hurt them or, cause any harm to them. It's like, it's a little, yeah, like I'm the same way. Like, the day to day, I'm so busy. Like, I can keep myself busy inside. I'm talking to people like you, but right, the bigger picture of it, I have moments where I freak out, and I'm like, I think subconsciously we're all a little like, what the hell is going on? This is, it's scary. Absolutely. I agree. I totally agree. But we're going to get over it together, though. Let's be positive, think positive thoughts, and we're going to get over this. And to our points before, I do think everything happens in life for a reason. I think this is like the world's way of saying, like, you people better fucking reset, and you're all concerned with all the wrong things, right? Listen, David, this is what I just said the other day. There's no damn how many followers do I have, how big my house is, what car, what business I own. It's no VIP, baby. Corona is no VIP. Right. And this is a damn wake-up call to all of us. You're no better than the next person, okay? Because everyone is scared. And the person who's used to calling everyone, or, oh, I have these followers, or I'm such and such. No, baby. Right now you're in fear. You're scared too. And as my grandmother would say, you better get right with God. You better get right with whoever you look up to. Seriously. So like people that need to be, taken down a peg, hopefully will and will come out of this being like, I'm no better than you. It's like being more giving and just hopefully just making a change. I think so. Now the reunion, I mean, do we know anything about the reunion? Because I mean, I know here we are. It's coming soon. They're just trying to work out when, but it should be here soon. It's coming. Like, I definitely think we should have a reunion within the next 2 weeks. I would think so. Because I can't think of how many. And I know Andy is putting his all in getting us a reunion. The whole Bravo family is. And true. So. Because I saw, like, I don't even know how many episodes are left. Like, we're on episode 19, so the next one is 20. 20. We may have like 2 or 3 more. I'm not positive. I think it's 2 or 3 more left. But I know we're getting a reunion soon. I hope so, because I read somewhere online that someone suggested like a virtual reunion, and he's like, eh. I know. And I know he said that, but I mean, as in right now, today, I would think that. It seems like it's our new normal, because on this Watch What Happens Live, I see they're virtual. But I don't know, because
what are we going to do? I mean, in 2 weeks, Corona is reaching its peak. But I know one thing, though. He's going to bring a reunion. So let's just wait and see how he brings it. But I know he's going to bring it and he's not going to disappoint.
There has to be a reunion. Right? And at the reunion, what is Marlo coming to the reunion for? Like, what would you like to clear up at the reunion?
I'm definitely going to clear up. I'm going to definitely say something to Kenya. Hopefully she zips her mouth and just hear me out. And really, to tell you the truth, I'm coming with champagne and popcorn. I'm more excited to sit down and just watch this reunion because these girls always play musical chairs, and it was some good musical chairs this season. So I'm ready to sit down, have my popcorn. I'm going to have me a fabulous flute. I'm going to be... I'm going to slay, though. I'm going to be sitting pretty.
As you take another sip of your Grey Goose and lemonade from your diamond glass, I just have to let everybody know what's going on. But no, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you always get, everyone says Marlo creates all this drama and is messy. Like, you didn't really do. You like get blamed.
You know what it is? Marlo tells the truth. Marlo calls your ass out, and that's the problem. So if I was fake and more quiet, all of them will love me a little more. They'll call me around a little more. They'll root for me to get a peach a little more. But it's like, oh, I'm afraid of her. She's tall. She's pretty. I don't want her to get above me. So that's what's wrong with society, too. We want you to win, but we don't want you to get past me. If it's meant for David to get past me, he's going to get past me. So, but if David's on my team, if you're winning, I'm winning, right? If we're on the same team, right? But
I don't think most people feel that. I mean, I agree with you. I don't know if everyone really thinks that way.
They don't. And I do. I just feel that in Beyonce and them group, Beyonce was the star, right? It wasn't for everyone. But guess what? I'm sure Kelly can call Beyonce for anything. I'm sure Kelly is not wanting for anything, Michelle, any of them. And it's like just knowing your position is important. In basketball, you have a captain. You have a guard. Know your position. And it's okay because we're a team at the end of the day. But a lot of people, they just don't get that.
Right. And like, why are we even comparing like a Kelly to a Beyonce? Because Kelly has a lot. It does not want for anything and is probably very happy in her life.
Very happy in her life. Very happy. And she's an Aquarius, so I know she's happy.
See how in sync we are, Marlo?
Yes, we are. We got to hook up. Definitely. As soon as this is over, seriously.
And then I will.
If you find me a man in New York, I'm going to find you one here in Atlanta.
I travel before all this because of what I do. Like I travel all the time. I'm in a different state like every day. So I really will come to Atlanta.
Seriously, you're welcome. Come right on over, me and the boys. You're welcome.
So you're dating someone now or around, but nobody.
Like I have friends. Now I'm not going to sit here like I don't talk on the phone. I don't go on dates. Now am I married? No, but I am talking to friends, but nothing in stone or serious.
I'm going to think of who I can come up with for you.
Don't tell them about the show. Just say, hey, I have a beautiful, like one of my girlfriends is Black and she's gorgeous. And then let them meet me and get to know me. Because I think this show scares guys off sometimes.
Probably. And I think sometimes they probably act like they don't know you're on the show, but they really do.
Exactly. You either get the guy that's a groupie that knows. You get the guy who either he knows, then he Googles you and see all the bad shit people put out. Oh, she only date white guys, only rich guys. And then I want to just get the guy who doesn't know anything but just me. Like, you just get to see it's me, and then we go from there. And then it's like, hey, I'm on the show. Hey.
That's better. I mean, have you met guys that are like in it for like the fame, the public eye?
And I've ended it. Absolutely. You can tell.
That makes sense. And then what else? One more thing I wanted to ask you. I'm trying to think. Well, what else is going on in your life now? Like any businesses?
I'm working still on my wig line. They're doing good. I just shipped a couple out today. My wig line, her, and my nonprofit, I'm really upset because April, is prom. So my nonprofit, Glam It Up, is for young girls in foster care. So every April, I pick like at least 5 or 6 of the girls and dress them up from head to toe. Gowns, dresses. It's a Marlotta style prom. I get them a car, a limousine to send them off, and I'm just really disappointed because I'm like, what am I going to be able to do in April for them? If this is still going on.
Oh, wow. That's nice. And what did you say? You said it was a Marlotta style prom?
Marlotta style prom.
That is fabulous. I love that.
Now, yes.
And
So,
the wig line is doing well.
yeah, everyone's doing good. My nephews are doing good. We're coming on our first year tomorrow.
Wow.
April 3rd, it'll be a year. And I can't even believe we made this year. It's like, wow.
You should do something to celebrate,
We
even though
are
you're
with
in.
cake and we're probably gonna make a video up. Like, I don't want it to be rehearsed. I really want us to, like, I was gonna buy a cake, but I'm like, no, let's bake it together. And it's my brother who passed last year in March. It's his birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a cake and put like a number 1 in it, probably for our first year. And happy birthday to my brother Curtis.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm excited, but we're just going to talk about our first year. I want to really know what has changed in their life and what do they feel. I like them to be honest as well. So,
Do they have any feelings about the show? Like, oh my God,
you know what? I don't let them watch the show. So literally,
it's better.
when we do tape, I'm like, be yourself. Auntie doesn't hide anything. Be who you are, because I don't want that pressure on them adjusting here, then pressure. Oh, I can't say this, so I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm an open book. Say whatever's on your mind. Just be respectable. Don't curse or any of that. But
And they must be thrilled to be with you.
they went to school when the show first aired, and I didn't even show them that they were on TV. And when they came home, they're like, Auntie, why are people saying we were on TV and I'm famous? And I'm like, I don't know what people are talking about. And I keep it as that. Like, I don't want that getting all in their heads right now.
Right. Like, oh, Auntie's famous. Auntie's on TV.
Exactly. Because I'll be like, don't forget where you came. Stay humble. My main thing is to let them remain humble and know where they came from a year ago.
And where can everyone find your wigs?
They can find my wigs on my website. You know what? I tell everyone just to go to my Instagram, Marlo Hampton. I have everything there. You can click on her there, go right to my website. You can click on Glam It Up. You can click on R&nbsp. All things Marlo is literally right there in my bio on my Instagram, Marlo Hampton.
And it links to everything. And is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up? Anything else you don't think we covered?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. Definitely go buy wig, ladies. They're amazing wigs. I'm super excited about my wigs. It's only 7 wigs. So I was like 7 wigs, 7 days of the week. And they last a year. They're glueless. You can glue them down if you want to, but I'm selling them as in being glueless and healthy for your hair. And just be happy. While we're home right now, I want people to really sit down and try and find that inner creativity that they have or side hustle and see, we're worth so much more. And usually we're so tied up with everything that's going on our job. This is a time to see what other hidden treasures we have inside.
I feel the same way. I'm like, use this time wisely. Like, don't be depressed. I mean, listen, I've had my moments, but this is the time to have that side hustle, reinvent yourself. Think of like all those things you've been saying you want to look into. Now is the time to look into that.
Clean out a closet, clean out your house. Like, even though in my closet, I keep looking at it, I'm like, oh Lord, I'm just going to have to call the organizer and be like, can I pay you to help me do this on FaceTime?
That was one of my like third days. I've done that 3 times over. My closets are so organized now. But to your point, that was on my list for like a year.
Absolutely. And my closet has been on mine forever as well. And I'm like, oh, I got to really get it together.
Well, listen, you can call me on FaceTime and I'll help you.
Definitely. I will. Seriously.
That I'm good at. I'll DM you so you know where to keep in touch.
The girl come over to start with my pantry like a week ago, but now I don't want anyone to come over because of the number. So I told her, let's just stop now and we'll start back when things slow down. But definitely, I will call you seriously because that room, my bathroom for makeup, I need an idea what to do with all my makeup. And my closet, you would faint when you see my closet.
Really? That sounds like a fun way to spend the day. You can like entertain me and I will help you clean your closet virtually.
Gotta keep you to it.
Now look, this is what we have to do before we leave. I need to do 2 things. First, I need to take a picture of you.
Oh.
This really is just not the same.
Am I looking at you now?
Right there, yes. That is like perfect, just like that. Oh my God, you look so good. And now I'll show you the other thing we have to do. Now we have to do this. This is, do you see what our lives have come to? Look at this.
Oh, the new normal.
But you look good, look.
Wait, where am I? Am I right here? Wait,
Yeah. You look so good. This was like, and I'm not just saying this because I speak to a lot of people, like, you are so, I'm telling you, you're always surprised by certain people. Like, this was so amazing. I feel like very similar.
You know what, David? Thank you. And I appreciate that because on the show all these years, people only get to see me those 10 or 15 minutes and they really judge me. And at some point I was like, damn, people haven't really got to know me. They hold my past against me. And it really hurts. It does. Like I would come home, I remember, oh my God, they hate me. And now I'm just so numb to it. It's like, hey, thank God maybe my nephews came and they got to see a softer side. But it's even sad that still they wasn't accepting just me for me.
And that's really, and that, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. And I'm saying like, that's what I like to talk about. Like, yes, everyone's going to want to hear about all the stuff we talked about, but I like to get into like, who is the woman behind the drama that has been created on the show?
All that stuff. Exactly.
So hopefully people will see that.
He called me. I definitely come back on. I love your energy too. I wouldn't have been on the phone with you this long. I would have pretended it was an emergency and got off.
You could have done that. And you know what we'll do? Maybe after the reunion, like after the whole thing airs, you'll come back on.
Definitely after the reunions, for sure.
And we'll do a touch base with Marlo.
Definitely.
Awesome. I really, really appreciate it. Say thank you to like Ty and everyone that helped arrange this.
Years ago, I started on Marlo's Closet on YouTube. So tell them to go look at Marlo. I think it's Marlo Hampton Media. So definitely go and check out my YouTube, Marlo's Closet on YouTube if they're bored. And they'll get to see a lot more of me on there as well. It's just something and Justin did. And we invited people in and it's amazing. You'll love it.
And it's under because it broke up for a minute. It's under Marlo's Closet on YouTube.
Marlo's Closet, yeah, but it's Marlo Hampton's Media. But Marlo's Closet on YouTube.
Amazing. Awesome. All right, I'm going to DM you. I love you dearly.
Love you more.
Go and have another vodka.
I am. I'm going to have another vodka and I'm going to make the boys. Oh, guess what? I'm making a cute little recipe. So Ty told me about this. And I'm going to get salmon and I'm going to do like how you do a Philly cheesesteak? I'm going to do salmon cheesesteak with peppers and onions and put cheese on it on a Hawaiian roll.
That's healthy. That's healthier.
Onions, season it up and put it on the roll.
Oh my God, I love it. All right, I'm going to
Hawaiian roll. Love you though.
I do love you and I love that. And but like DM me back. I love you. And tell Ty thank you. She's been amazing.
No problem. Call me. I'm going to tell Ty to send you my cell phone.
All right, I love you dearly. Tell her.
Bye, baby.
All right, bye. Thanks for listening to yet another episode of Behind the Velvet Rope. Because without you listeners, I would just be a crazy person with voices in my head. And if you like what you hear, subscribe on Apple Podcasts under Behind the Velvet Rope. And when you're done subscribing, feel free to leave a 5-star write-up review because the write-up reviews actually count. We read each and every one of them. We post the best ones and the reviews really help our shows keep going. And we really appreciate everything you guys say, especially the positive ones. And if you want to find us online, we're at Behind Velvet Rope on Instagram. We are at David Yontef on Instagram. We're Behind the Velvet Rope on Apple Podcasts. Or head on over to Patreon because you know what? There are just some things we can't talk about here. So for our bonus episodes, go to Patreon and type in Behind the Velvet Rope. And if you still aren't sick of me and you want more David, go to Cameo and book me on Cameo. And you can ask me anything there. I'll answer whatever you want. And I have a bargain basement price of $10. Thank you guys. See you soon.